shell-shocked. I mean, a shot there from Ganesh. A lot of traffic in front of Jakemer there in front of that. Not much he can do, as I'm not sure he ever saw that one. But, I mean, this Centennial team's rolling, and Hamilton's going to have to find a way to slow them down, even if it's to the slightest extent, because they most certainly have the hot hand right now.
They've had no answer for this Coyotes offense. Ganesh already 3 points in his afternoon, matching his 6 points on the season up to 9. Unbelievable performance for number 74 in white. Frost through the middle, turns it over to Centennial. Goes off the back of the leg of Martin.
You say an unbelievable performance from Ganesh, and I mean, we are just barely halfway through this first period. There's so much time left in this game.
Had an unbelievable start. Hamilton looking to answer. Said it's Janzik who will bring it out. Crawford right side. Fires it. Hits off the leg of one. That was Mello in front. Good forecheck by Janzik. Will force a turnover. Trying to get past two Huskies. He can't. And Schill will just dump it around the corner. Ganesh in the corner. Gives it to Crawford. Fends off a check from Cerami. Ganesh 3 points already. Has it in the corner. Finds Schill at the point. One-time shot. Goes wide. Goes through the crease. Crawford couldn't grab it. Close opportunity there for the Coyotes.
And the second time this game, we've seen kind of a funky bounce off that end wall, kicking back out in front, and it's led to a couple of chances for the Coyotes.
Here come the Huskies, however. John Cerami fires it, blockered away by Scott. That's the first shot on goal for the Huskies in this first period.
I mean, that's just a crazy thing to think about. The fact that Centennial has tripled the goals that the Huskies do shots.
Ganesh already with 3 points. Hartman in the corner, fires it off the leg of Cerami. Battling in the corner, two Huskies now marked with two Coyotes. And Dawson will bring it out for the Huskies. Fires it to Kesselman. But he's shaken off by O'Sullivan. Here come the Coyotes once again. Hartman one-times it in on net, and Jakemer beats him to the puck. 3-0 Coyotes already here in the first period. 3 points for Ganesh, and they just keep pouring on the pressure.
Yeah, and Jakemer with a nice save there. Sliding across and feeling a little bit of rubber. He's really struggled and quite frankly has been peppered through these first 10 minutes of hockey. And to get one under his belt and put himself in front of a puck, that's got to be a good feeling for him right now.
8 shots on goal for Centennial. They've scored on 3 of those shots. Dawson battling with 2 guys on Centennial. Jarvis through middle, misses the puck, finds it and dumps it in. Scott comes out for it, hits off his stick. It directs in front, but no Husky was there to capitalize. Hunter Krupski up the right side of the ice. Once again, though, Hamilton will turn it over to Centennial, but they do the same. Kesselman right in on it, and it's patted away by Scott.
The scary opportunity there if you're Scott. You haven't seen a ton of shots. Haven't really had a chance to settle into this one, and one of your first shots of the game is a high scoring chance there from the high slot. Good job by him to fend it off.
Krupski with the reverse hit on O'Sullivan. Melissa chips it past one and grabs it back. Fends off Jarvis, receives a hit from Mello. And Husky will take it away, but the whistle will blow for a Hamilton penalty. Mello arguing with the referee, but he's going to head to the box for the third penalty for Hamilton. And it will send the 2-for-2 Centennial power play back onto the ice.
It's been such a theme throughout the league as a whole. You look at teams like Chaparral and in this game, Hamilton, where they can't stay out of the box and it's costing them games. And that's going to be a costly one at that. Already trailing by 3, giving the Coyotes a chance to pounce once more.
Already 2-for-2. Smith on the faceoff. Loses it. Hamilton will chip it off the glass. Ganesh keeps it in. Across the ice to his captain, Melissa. Steele holding on to it, goes up to Ganesh. Fires it. And it's soaked up by Jakemer, and he'll hold on.
And it seems like this power play looking a lot to Ganesh up top, trying to get shots through traffic. That's how they got their last power play goal, and they showed no signs of stopping that now as Ganesh is still firing away from the blue line.
They're definitely working it around through that man, Ganesh. Smith across the ice to steal. And it's a beautiful feed from Jack Smith. And Centennial answers their third power play goal of the period. Their fourth goal overall, and they have the 4-0 lead.
And this Hamilton bench is deflated. I mean, it's going to take a lot for them to come back in this one. Down 4 in the first period, and it's going to take an incredible intermission speech from Coach Scott Schaefer to get them back into this one.
Just going to mention that first intermission speech. It's going to have to be shades of 1980 USA hockey speeches in order to get them back into this. Janzik circles back on one, looking for another. Centennial looking to add to their lead. Ernsberger trying to get through the legs of a Coyote. Got on from the Huskies, goes wide. Battling in the corner. Goes up to Flanagan. And he's met by Janzik and turns it over. Braden Martin brings it out for the Coyotes. He fires a shot on in and out of the glove of Janzik. Dawson around the corner, around the net. Another penalty coming, this time to Centennial. Janzik goes to the bench. Sixth skater coming onto the ice for the Huskies, but doesn't look like they're going to be able to capitalize on that opportunity as Minogue touches up. And we'll get our first look at this Hamilton power play.
And one that's going to need to be effective immediately. That guy to look for on this power play is Zane Marag. Played for Basha Perry for 2 years and then made the switch to Hamilton this year. And he's been their main goal scorer for them, barring Jack Gore, who, might I mention, is not here tonight. He is out of town with what we believe is a travel hockey tournament trip. So going to have to rely heavily on Zane Marag, this one specifically on the power play as well.
Yeah, losing Jackson Gore is a huge loss for this Husky team. Could contribute to this 4-0 lead for Centennial. Flipping it out into the glove of the aforementioned Marag, but his shot is blocked. Krupski at the point. Dumps it down low, and it's kept in briefly, but it did come out as Centennial will get an opportunity to clear, and they do just that. Steele fires a shot over the net. It goes all the way around where Melissa will keep it in. The Centennial just killing some time here on their first penalty kill of the game. 75% on the season for the Coyotes is that penalty kill percentage. Steele through the center of his offensive zone, fakes the shot, now fires. It's a nice save by Jakemer. Looked like it almost squirted through that crease of his right arm and the blocker, but he holds on.
Yeah, slam that 6-hole shut right between the side and the blocker there. Can be a really tough save for a lot of goalies, and often isn't where players are intending to shoot, but not an easy save at all. But I mean, this Centennial team's one man down, and they're still full steam ahead.
Yeah, and Langdon Jakemer has had his game. He's had it cut out for him ever since the first puck drop, and he stood tall for some of them. Goodman gets the turnover in center ice. Crawford reaches for the puck, and Dawson will toe drag around him. Erickson up for Jarvis. Blocked shot. Accardo tried to grab it, but he couldn't. Dawson fires it into the corner as Centennial will look to clear, and they do just that as Hamilton will have to retreat. Dawson and Crawford. Crawford will beat him to the puck in the offensive zone. Saber Crawford fires the pass into the middle. Goodman whiffs on the shot as Accardo will bring it out.
And even one man up, this Hamilton team still struggling to establish the zone.
Larson Accardo fires a shot. It goes off the glove of Scott and into the corner. Accardo finds a check from Telesco. Kept in on the side is Colin Flanagan. But Gordon Goodman grabs a check from Accardo, but works it up the ice. Take a hit, make a play. Crawford off the blocker of Jakemer as Centennial has killed off the power play.
And they made it look easy at that. I think one shot on that power play for Hamilton, and it almost seems like Centennial was on the power play themselves there, as it was still down in their end most of the time.
James stretching forward. Jarvis checks him into the middle. Shot on. Another one coming from Mason Hartman. Minogue tried a shot. Goes off of Erickson. A lot of block shots already to begin this hockey game from both sides. That's going to be important heading down the stretch as Ethan Schill will bring it out for Centennial. Solo effort, drops it for Janes, goes off the stick of Mello in front and into the protective netting and out of play.
And 47 seconds remaining here in the first frame. And this Hamilton team, they look a little lost, to be honest with you. It's a lot of throwing pucks away to areas where nobody's going to be and areas that are dangerous because Centennial players are going to be there. Might take them picking a head up for them to get back into this one.
Jane's shot went wide, and Cerami will take over. Marat coming quick, 2-on-2. He gets past one. He's in on the breakaway. Shot fired, and it's off the blocker of Scott. Another great save by Landon Scott early in this hockey game, keeping it 4-0 in favor of Centennial. Now they have a 2-on-1 of their own. Ganesh with 3, looking for his 4th point of the game. And it goes across the slot. Centennial is looking for him once again, but it'll go all the way back to their own defensive zone with 9 seconds remaining in the first period. James has it just across his blue line, 2-1. And Centennial will take this 4-0 lead into the first intermission. 3 power play goals in that first period for the Coyotes. Eastson, I mean, it's been all Centennial to start this hockey game. They've put on the pressure, predominantly from Jacariah Ganesh. 3 points already. What have you seen from this game, and how can Hamilton get back into it?
Well, with 3 power play goals in the first period, you could absolutely accredit that success to a strong power play, but they've been on the attack shorthanded, 5-on-5. It's been all Centennial. And to be honest, Colgin, this Hamilton team's got to want it more. They look lost out there. They look like they don't want to be here right now, and they need to turn around. It's a young team lacking a little bit of that mature veteran presence that they had last year with players like Jack Welch, Caden Schaefer, but they need to find guys who are going to step up at this young age and enrich that history that Hamilton has as a program in this league.
Yeah, and that's that legacy that head coach Scott Schaefer mentioned and talked to you about pregame. How it's just one of those things that this Hamilton hockey team has so much history, is such a legacy that they need to live up to, and he doesn't feel that 3-6 start to the season has done that quite yet.
And another thing to point out with the young team, one of the leaders on this team is Jack Gore, who has been great with young players, and not having him tonight could be a big reason why the Hamilton Huskies are drowning in the deep end here just 15 minutes into this one.
6 goals, 7 assists, 13 points on the season for Jackson Gore, the leader in all of those statistics for Hamilton. As we're just a few seconds away from puck drop for the second period. Goodman and Marat will face off at center ice. Goodman wins it back for Centennial. They have a 4-0 lead carrying over from the first period. 3 power play goals for the Coyotes, 3 points for Ganesh, and we already have a whistle 12 seconds into the period as the puck goes out of play.
Out of play and off the linesman there is looked like Andy Pajes in the World Series last night, trying to make a basket catch there. Luckily, didn't run anyone over in the process, but I mean, what a great weekend it's been for sports, Colgin.
Yeah, Los Angeles Dodgers taking down the Toronto Blue Jays in Game 7 of the World Series last night as the puck goes out in front to Newton, and he buries it into the back of the net. A Centennial picking up right from where they left off in the first period, 17 seconds into the second, and it's 5-0 Coyotes.
And this one's getting out of hand. I mean, you look at Langdon Jankmer, and there's really not much he can do on a lot of these goals. Backdoor tap-ins, and that one doesn't get easier for Newton. 6x4 on the backdoor step for him, and all he has to do is take one swipe at it and add his name to the score sheet.
6x4, and he added number 5 for the Coyotes. Whistle for offsides entering the Hamilton zone. But man, just another opportunity for Centennial that they've capitalized. You've got to credit some of the success to just their ability to capitalize on their chances from the Coyotes standpoint.
And yeah, they really haven't missed much. I mean, it seems like every opportunity they've had, specifically on the power play, they've gotten pucks to the net. They've gotten the looks they've wanted. But I mean, how much of that is the success of the Coyotes, and how much of that is the failure of the Huskies here in this one?
Yeah, 5 goals on 15 shots, shooting 33% as a team. That's going to win you hockey games if you put up numbers like that. 36 goals on the season entering tonight's play for the Coyotes. Hamilton wins the faceoff as Marat takes it in the zone, gives it to Ernsberger. Coming down the right side, a backhand pass behind his back. Finds Marat. He steps towards the middle, down low for Ernsberger. And it's a slash from Marat, who takes the stick of Ethan Schill out of his hands. And that will be a penalty. So another power play for Centennial coming up. 3 for 3 on the day, looking to make it 4 for 4.
And that's just simply undisciplined right there. A clear slash. And he knew it as soon as that whistle blew. He was straight to the penalty box. And about the easiest call you're going to get if you're an official in this one.
Yeah, the Lady Bing run for Zane Marat is over. His first penalty of the season. And that'll send this torrent Centennial power play right back to it. They lose the faceoff in the offensive zone, and Hamilton will clear. Melissa racing backward, has Ernsberger pressuring. He chips it around him, still with pressure as Melissa brings it out. Pass up on the right side to Miller. Steele with it. Finds a check from Ernsberger. Ganesh looking for a shot. Will continue to stick handle and chip it behind the net from Miller. Miller had the first power play goal for Centennial. Gives it to Ganesh at the point. Cross for Steele. Good movement from Centennial early in the power play. Ganesh at the point. Fires a shot. Just goes wide. Jack Smith on the half wall. Gives it to Steele. Across into the middle. Looking for Hartman. But goes away on his stick. That was Melissa. Shot on from Smith. And it goes off the corner of the stick of Jakemer.
Again, just Centennial having their way on this power play. Every look they want's there, and they're unstoppable right now.
Ganesh around the net, holding on to it continuously. Fires a pass off the Husky. Smith will just have to take it out of the zone. He was tripped up at his own blue line, but no call coming. Jackson Steele down the right side, fires it off the blocker of Jakemer, and Hamilton will clear.
And what a play that was in the neutral zone by Mark Melissa. Coming the opposite way, saw Jackson Steele streaking in the space and just put it there for him. But a good rush chance there for the Coyotes.
Jackson Steele still on the ice with Melissa. His first power play unit remains. Jack Araya, Ganesh down the middle. Turns it over to Hamilton where Krupski takes it in the corner. Try to flip it out to Ganesh. He toe drags one in the slot. Fires just over the crossbar. And another rebound shot on from Hartman. Goes wide as Hamilton has killed it off. And Marat right out of the box has a 2-on-0 with Ricardo. Marat shoots and scores. Out of the box and on the board for Zane Marat. Puts up his 6th goal in 6 games for the Huskies. And just like that, it's 5-1 in favor of Centennial.
And still a lot of digging to do if you're Hamilton, but I mean, very rarely does it happen, but sometimes penalties pay off right out of the box there, right place, right time, and it does lead to a goal for Hamilton as they've finally broken the ice in this one.
That's a huge goal for Hamilton as well. Killing off the penalty, then immediately going back and scoring your first of the game. We'll see if they can build on that. Ricardo is going to try to. He drops it for one. That's Jarvis. He shoots it into the glove of Scott, and he holds on. And Hamilton pressuring a little bit of their own for really the first time in this hockey game.
And we talked about a little intermission speech, and maybe they got one from Scott Schaefer. Great job on that penalty kill. They looked pretty solid, kept them off the scoreboard for the first time this game, and now they're starting to mount an attack of their own.
Minogue finds it to Newhart as Janzik takes over for Centennial. Chip it off the boards. Krupski trying to keep it in. Janzik brings it through the middle. He's in on 3 Hamilton Huskies. He whiffs the shot. Keep in from Minogue for the time being. Comes out to Martin, who dumps it in. Hamilton will regroup. They'll start in their own defensive zone and a stretch pass to Ricardo. He's in on a breakaway with Minogue on his trail. And it's blockered away by Scott. Hamilton finding their legs here against Centennial. O'Sullivan one-hands it up to Martin. He'll continue with the puck. Martin takes over into the middle for O'Sullivan. Looking on that left side for Clayton, but he couldn't find him. Another stretch pass was looking up for Erickson, and it'll bounce into the glove of Scott, and he'll just hold on to that one.
And Hamilton looks like they're in a position now where they're prepared to go blow for blow with the Centennial team, trading odd man rushes at both ends of the ice, and by any means necessary, Hamilton, especially if they had gotten that breakaway goal, could have flipped the script on this entire game.
Would have been the TSN turning point. 5-1 is the Coyotes' lead. Ganesh takes it off the wall. He's chased by Erickson. Still with it. 1-on-4 for Ganesh. Splits the D. Couldn't get the shot on, though. Hamilton will take it behind their own net. Turned over, though. Ganesh on the right side just misses the pass from Jans. He's got it. Landon Jans behind the net. Behind the back pass was looking for Ganesh on the right side, but he was not there. The puck will squirt out to center ice as Centennial will regroup. Mello sticks it away from Ganesh. He'll take it up behind his own net. Stops up. Nice defensive play there from Hamilton. Tipped up the ice. Doesn't find the Husky that was racing forward. That was Frost. He checks Ganesh in the middle of the ice. Huskies take over. And Hartman will take it back. Back and forth action here in the second period. Centennial leading 5-1. Ganesh with a shot on. Goes off the blocker of Jakemer and into the corner. Once again, Ganesh on this right side. He's been out there for quite some time. Hasten Miller fighting off one Husky. Chip attempt is blocked down by the 6'6" defenseman. Centennial working it out of the corner, looking to add to their 4-goal lead. Jackson Steele looking into the middle for Jack Smith. It was broken up. Centennial keeping it in and flipped out by Hamilton out to center ice where Kason Miller will have to retreat.
And Hamilton just keeps getting trapped in their own end to a point where they need to flip the puck out and get a change.
O'Sullivan had Melissa in the center of the ice. Could have had a breakaway attempt. Instead, it's going to be an offsides as Melissa was already in the zone. It'll be a face-off on the left dot outside of the Hamilton zone.
And Melissa's letting O'Sullivan know about it now. I mean, that's part of it being a leader right there, and that's a sign of a good leader. Still up 4 goals and still wanting more.
Ben Kesselman turns it over. Smith left side into the middle. Looking for Steele. It's chipped up into the air and off the glass. Centennial trying to work it out of their own defensive end. Yet another defensive zone turnover. A Michigan attempt by Mark Melissa. It's the second one we've seen from Centennial here tonight. And a pass into the middle. It's a nice stop there from Jakemer on Smith. A couple of highlight reel plays already in this one. O'Sullivan turns it over. It's just back and forth action. Steele in the corner. Taken away by Dawson. Hamilton will work it out. Zane Murrah, the goal scorer for Hamilton. A between the legs move on Sullivan. Crosses him up. Toss pass out to Dawson. Fires it on, deflected in. And it's soaked up by Scott. And he'll hold on.
And a great look from the point there by Noah Dawson, trying to find a stick in front. He did find Dorman, who got a deflection. And in order to find their way back into this one, Hamilton's going to need to find some ugly goals. It's going to have to be rebound, tip-ins.
Maybe a little bit of puck luck, too.
Maybe a lot of it.
They're going to need something. Down 4 with just about halfway through this game. Murrah wins the faceoff forward. Try to wrap attempt, but Scott read that one.
Zane Murrah clearly trying to take this one over for Hamilton. He's had the puck on his stick for a lot of this second period, and he's created a lot of high marquee scoring chances for the Huskies as well.
Yeah, the penalty earlier in the period came out of the box and immediately scored. He's got it now. He fires it on, looking for the stick of Schaefer. Scott paddles it away. Crawford looking for the stretch pass to Newton. Doesn't find him, and it will go all the way down the ice for icing. Face-off will come back to the left of Landon Scott in the Centennial defensive zone.
This Hamilton line starting to get their legs going here. Mirage Ernsberger and Corbin Schaefer have looked really good in this second period. And
Mirage, another shot off the face-off, goes over the net this time. He has it behind the net, behind the back pass into the middle, was looking for Ernsberger, couldn't find him. Now it's a quick 3-on-2 for Centennial. Shot from Crawford on the left side goes off the blocker of Jakemer. Far pass over on the right side. Ernsberger has Mirage in the middle. He'll find him. Toe drag shot off the stick of Scott and wide. Ernsberger taking it. Looking for Krupski. Instead, he'll hold on. Into the corner. It's Mello. Fending off the referee. Ernsberger working towards the net. And Scott gets his glove in the way and soaks it up.
And tough angle there for the official who's Merchant tonight. Down low, but Jancic got his stick tied up in there. It looked like maybe it could have been called for hooking, but once again a tough angle. But nonetheless, this Hamilton team is really starting to mount an offensive attack here and finding their footing here late in this second period of play.
Hamilton has the puck in center ice. Newar. But Centennial once again just this torrent forecheck and constant pressure, allowing them to get so many takeaways. Going to be Brown in his own zone, chips it off the boards and finds the stick of O'Sullivan on Centennial. So they come back the other way. Braden Martin through the legs of Brown, looking for Clayton in the middle. It goes past his stick. Martin behind the net. Fending off one. That's Flanagan. Jancic up to the point for O'Sullivan. Back on the right side for Jancic. He fires into the feet in the middle of the slot. That bounces out. And now it's Hamilton with an opportunity to trip Newhart. Couple of slashes from Telesco. He slaps it on goal. And it goes into the net and out of play. And Newhart has a couple of words for the referee.
Yeah, and he took a couple of hacks there on the breakaway chance. And that pressure got to him, which is what forced a quick slap shot that went out of play. But again, another half-step chance for the Huskies where they've had an opportunity to claw their way back, but unable to capitalize as well as the Coyotes have tonight.
Jarvis and Ganesh on the face-off. Centennial will work out off the stick of Jarvis and over to the benches. On the left side, through the legs of Hartman. Krupski chips it out. Centennial looking to add to their 4-goal lead, but they go off sides. As Hamilton's finally starting to find their legs here in the second period. They still trail by 4, but it's definitely been a much improved period from the first.
And it's more of the game I expected to see here, and I'm sure you did as well. These teams are pretty evenly matched in the standings, only separated by 2 points, which is only one win.
15 points for the Huskies, 17 for the Coyotes. Mirage into the middle for Ernsberger. The net comes off its mooring, so the referee will blow the whistle.
A tough break there for Huskies. Looks like they had a glimmer of hope with an opportunity in front, but an untimely moment for the net to come off, and just like that, it's washed away.
Now the Huskies had a little bit of words for each other, trying to figure out what they want to do on this face-off. Mirage has won it forward a couple of times. See if he tries to do it again. No, he loses it to Ganesh. The Centennial takes over. Stretch pass for Hartman. He works in the middle. Mason Hartman holds on. Trying to look for Ganesh in the corner. Fired pass off a Husky in front. Hartman with a couple of stick handles, still holding on. It's now with Jans. Landon Jans working it, keeps it in the zone, but it's then poked free. Ernsberger has a forward press. Ernsberger backhand shot off the side of the net. Puck is chipped up and Minogue takes over. And Ganesh will work around starting from his defensive zone.
And Hamilton again with another quick rush opportunity, but Centennial's done such a great job of keeping them outside.
Ganesh Finds O'Sullivan, who slaps it on. Jans with the rebound, still with it. O'Sullivan whiffs on this next shot attempt. And another one from Hartman is stopped by Jakemer. We have another whistle for the net off its moorings.
And we're going chance for chance right now late in this second frame. Seems like every time somebody gets a solid look on goal, there's always a response from the other side.
Couple of nice saves from Langdon Jakemer. 2 wins on the season, looking to avoid his 7th loss. Fire shot from Melissa goes into his glove. He's allowed 8 goals in back-to-back starts for Hamilton. Last one coming on October 19th against Mountain Ridge. Hamilton won their last game against Pinnacle 4-2. Jackson Gore had a hat trick in that game, 4 points, so they're feeling the effects without their best player. Telesco with Centennial. Shakes off one into the middle. Couldn't find his teammate. Melissa in the corner. Toe drags past one. Hamilton will chip it around the boards. Melissa fell in the mid zone. Hamilton will dump it around the net. Bodies flying here in the second period. Centennial clinging to their 4-goal lead. Frost with a shot off a leg and wide. Be Jack Smith in the corner. Gives it to Telesco on the left. Frost Jr. takes over through the neutral zone. Telesco sticks it. Just back and forth from both of these teams. Possession a struggle. Still up for Smith. The Centennial looks to set up. Steele inside out on Flanagan. Behind the net. Behind the back pass to his captain, Melissa. Sauce pass in front to Smith, goes off the post.
Melissa just creating so much from everywhere he is on the ice.
It's a creator. He does it again. Couple of rebound shot opportunities, and Jakemer just lays down on top of the puck to stop that one.
Jakemer's looked really solid in this middle frame, coming up with big saves where they need them, and Hamilton just has to find a way to spark some offense around him and try and help their goalie out here. But you mentioned earlier how they won their last game against Pinnacle, and this team is yet to win consecutive games on the year. So looking to string together their first winning streak of the year tonight.
Centennial, the offensive zone, looking to set up. Newton down the middle, right down Main Street. Forehand, backhand, fires the pass into the middle, and it's blocked away by the Husky defenders. Failed chip attempt off the glass. Centennial regroups. Another pass into the middle. Now it's Morale once again. He's down Main Street. He's got no one in front of him. He fires. It goes right off the crossbar and out of play. That's the kind of puck like you need to win hockey games, and Scott got it right there.
And what a chance for Morag. And honestly, he didn't do much wrong. It's a game of inches, and he was maybe 2 inches too high there as that one went bar north instead of bar south.
You know, I'm not really sure of the surface area of the crossbar, but I cannot imagine it's more than 2 inches.
Especially with how it curves as well. I mean, it is a game of inches.
Picardo with a drop pass attempt. Instead, Centennial. Newhar on the right side fires a shot. Goes through the legs of Jarvis. Simon Mello hits the knee of one Centennial Coyote. Picardo off the stick of Goodman. Hamilton out of their zone through neutral ice. Larson Picardo looking in front for Jarvis. He's still got it. Fires it off the glove of Scott, and it goes to the other corner. Krupski through the legs of one. Fires it right off the mask of Scott, and the whistle will blow. Referee wanting to make sure that Landon Scott is okay after he took that rocket of a shot from Krupski off the mask.
And looked like it may have knocked the helmet loose, but again, just like when the net got knocked off the pegs just moments ago, I mean, a tough break for the Huskies as they had a rebound sitting right in front, and the whistle from the helmet there of Landon Scott leads to the neutralization of that chance.
You know, a couple of chances that go the other way for Hamilton, and this game could easily be 5-3, 5-4. Krupski at the point. Looking for Ernsberg. He gets it right back. A couple of deflections in front. The final one from Schaefer, but it goes to the right of Scott. Battling behind the net is Janzik and Schaefer. And Centennial will take over. Still through neutral. Tripped up by Murrah. No call coming. Ernsberger down the right side. Works towards the middle. Has Schaefer going to the net. Toe drag on Janzik. Backhand shot into the glove and held onto by Landon Scott.
And it didn't lead to a goal, but a perfectly executed 2-on-3 chance there by the Huskies. Really good job by Corbin Schaefer to drive that near post, drew two defenders in with them, and then Ernsberger able to step behind him into that open space, and it leads to a scoring chance for the Huskies, which they have had plenty of here in this middle frame.
This top line of Mirage, Ernsberger, and Schaefer have played the majority of this second period for head coach Scott Schaefer. A deflection in front by Ernsberger. It was a between-the-legs attempt from Mirage, but he couldn't connect. Nice move from Murrah on the boards. He loses a foot. Krupski takes it from Mirage. Ernsberger looking in front to Schaefer. Goes off his leg and he couldn't get a second shot on goal. O'Sullivan steals it off the Huskies and he's got open ice to use. He finds Martin on the right side. He just takes a slap shot with just a second left in the second period as Centennial avoids giving up a couple of goals to the Huskies, maybe a little bit of puck luck or just good goaltending from Landon Scott as they have a 5-1 lead heading into the second intermission in Easton. The Centennial team has took their foot off the gas a little bit, especially in that second period, and Hamilton has been capitalizing on those opportunities. They just haven't been able to put the puck in the back of the net.
And you mentioned puck luck, and we've talked about it all night. It just seems like things aren't going Hamilton's way, especially in that middle frame. But I talked to Coach Caleb Drinkhouse before the game from Centennial's side, and he really prioritized a quick start, as that's a message he's been trying to instill in his squad all year long. And boy, has that paid off here tonight, as those 4 first-period goals are the reason they're winning this game right now.
Yeah, you mentioned a couple of guys that have stepped up, Minogue, Jack Smith, just to name a few, but it's really been the efforts of Jacariah Ganesh, especially in that first period. 3 points on the day for him.
And a 1-1 first period in that middle frame as well, as taking away that first period of play, we would be level at 1 in a period that I thought Hamilton looked like the better team in the later halves of it.
Yeah, it was a 1-1 tie in that second period. Hamilton's going to need to win this one in order to put the W on the score sheet. We look to begin third period of play here at the Scottsdale Ice then. Colgin, Hirschel, Easton, Stockford, Dr. Ben on the sticks.
And look for Zane Murrah's line to be out there for almost all of this third period, as they have been red hot.
It's going to be Ganesh on the faceoff. He wins it against Cerami. He falls right along his blue line. Minogue brings it down the left, drops it for his teammate. Frost gets a stick in the middle. Nice stick lift from Jans. Going behind his net. As a teammate at the point, he'll hold on to it. Centennial dumps it in off of a Husky. They come back the other way. Erickson trying to add to the goal total for the Huskies here tonight. Just the one so far. That was from Mirage after he came out of the box after his penalty and immediately found the back of the net. Ganesh, a sauce pass over to Miller. Fires a shot, deflected in on Hartman. Jacomer had it, lost it, regains possession and holds on.
And a good tip there in front by Hartman. He had the rebound chance there as well, and a couple Hamilton defenders caught puck watching, turned their backs to their goalie instead of flipping the other way around, trying to box out. Man, Hartman gets a couple good whacks because of it.
Yeah, he had a couple of good whacks and a couple of words for Jakemer and the other Huskies coming off the bench. Tempers flaring just a tad here in Scottsdale. Krupski in his corner. Fending off Goodman. 2-on-2 battle in the corner. The Huskies prevail. Sullivan Ernsberger through center ice. Through the legs of the Coyote. And Scott gets the better as it's chipped out to center ice. And Krupski just dumps it in. Goodman stick handling into the offensive zone. Dropping it for Crawford. A whack at it. Couldn't come up with the puck though. Ernsberger with a little bit of speed stops up, kicks it to his stick. He's got one behind him. He decides to take it to the net himself. As Centennial tried to just rim it off the glass. Comes to the right side and a shot on by Krupski. Finds the glove of Scott and the whistle comes.
And a lot of individual effort there from Ernsberger on that shift. Trying to do it himself, maybe a hair too much. And it's easy to stop one guy. It's a lot harder to stop all five.
They have had a easy time stopping the five that are on the ice for the Huskies here tonight. Just the one goal against. 19 shots on goal for Hamilton. Mello through the middle, fires a shot off the blocker of Scott. Centennial working it out of their own zone, chips it to Jarvis of Hamilton. Ping pong action on the left side of the boards. Ethan Schill will take it. Once again, another puck off the opposition. Newhart in the corner, turns it over to Melissa. 3-on-2 brewing for Centennial. Looking into the middle is Melissa. He finds Steele, deflected off of Brown and into his goaltender's chest. And he'll hold on.
You talked about Melissa being a creator, and there it is again, finding his guy in the high slot. And Jackson Steele, and a good chance there, especially coming off the stick of a Hamilton defender. But a good job there by Jakemer to track it down.
This depth of Centennial has really come through in this hockey game. I mean, you've seen so much contribution from guys like Mark Melissa, Jacariah Ganesh. I mean, these are some of the players that have really come through for this Coyotes team. Another one here, Jackson Steele, looking for the wrap attempt. Instead, Flanagan with a chip attempt. Puck turned over as Ernsberger breaks out for Hamilton, and a nice back check from Jack Smith breaks up the opportunity. Terrence O'Sullivan will circle back to his corner. Fires a pass up to Jackson Steele. He's got Melissa behind him. He finds him. Mark Melissa fires a shot off the left pad of Jakemer. Steele looking for Melissa. He's behind the net. He already tried a Michigan once in this game. Didn't elect for it there. Miller at the point. Fires a shot into the glove of Jakemer, and he'll cover.
Jackson Steele and Mark Melissa just clicking tonight, creating so much opportunity. And two of the players who were on the state championship team Centennial had just 2 years ago, they both went to nationals together as well. And it's really raised the expectations that this program has, as they feel they can be back playing for a state title every year. And this is a team to look out for this year.
Janzek's shot goes wide, and it's not a surprise with the way they're playing today that this team is just 2 years removed from a state title.
And come February, you have guys who have been there as well, who have made those deep playoff runs, which that experience is so important in high school hockey, and it can make this team a threat come playoff time in February.
Still shot off the pad of Jakemer. Huskies come the other way. Cerami on the left side. Finds one in the middle. Shot on from Shane Frost Jr. Goes off the pad and into the corner, and Centennial clears. Martin takes the puck off of Telesco's legs. Minogue on the left side. Up the ice for Hartman. Trying to get past Krupski. Stops up. Finds Martin in the corner. Nice pass there. It's Martin off the stick of Janzek. He had it down ready for the pass. Got it in the passing lane successfully. Cerami looking to clear. He cannot. Krupski will have to retreat back to his own zone. Shane Frost Jr. trying to get it past O'Sullivan, but can't. Mason Hartman once again brings it back the other way. Was looking for an in and around pass to James, but he couldn't connect, and it's covered up by Jakemer.
Just 10 minutes left. It seems like kind of a now or never moment for the Huskies as they trail by 4, and it's going to take a lot for them to dig themselves out of this hole that really came in the first period.
It's going to have to be the line that's on the ice for Hamilton. That's going to have to come through with a couple of opportunities. Jans hit down to the ice by Anthony Brown. Clean as a whistle. Schaefer passes the puck into the middle. Ganesh takes over. He fires a shot off the blocker. It's in the air, up on the crossbar, and Flanagan bats it behind his net. Minogue, shot blocked. Here comes Ernsberger the other way. O'Sullivan back checking. Ernsberger all alone. And Scott comes up handy as he holds on. Another big save by Landon Scott on Hamilton, as he has had to stay tall in order to keep this 4-goal lead for Centennial.
And he's been great tonight. I mean, 19 saves on 20 shots, but a couple breakaway chances he'd had big moments on. And how about the defensive play at the other end from Hamilton? Ends up play from Colin Flanagan to use his hand and bat that one out of there, as there is no hand passes in the defensive zone. And then a big block shot there from Ernsberger, and it sparks his own chance.
Centennial with a little bit of speed. Goodman shot off the blocker of Jakemer. Brown will flip it out to center ice. Was looking for Mirage. It goes off his stick and will not go for icing. Miller having to retreat. He stops up and will just regroup in his defensive zone. Gavin Newton sees it goes off his stick. And right back to Miller. Ernsberger taking over. He cuts towards the middle. Looking for a shot. Still holding on to it. Has Marat on the corner. He fires it off the crossbar once again. It's the second shot from Mirage that has gone off the crossbar. Ernsberger works it on Telesco. He fires. He scores. Sullivan Ernsberger with a beautiful rip over the shoulder of Landon Scott, and Hamilton cling to any little bit of life that they have in the third period.
And that's just placement right there. Nothing Scott can do, as that is a perfectly picked corner. And we mentioned it earlier, a couple crossbars. That time Ernsberger gets one back for the Huskies, but maybe just a couple bounces away from being a 1 or 2 goal game.
Hamilton still clinging to this game. Jarvis takes it in his own defensive end. Hamilton through the middle. He'll have to dump it in. As for Ernsberger, that's just his 4th goal of the season. He had a goal and 3 assists against Chaparral on the 21st of September. 5 assists in his first 5 games. But up until this point, he's got just one other. That it was an icing for Centennial and go to the right of Scott.
And Ernsberger, kind of an interesting case here in AHSHA, as he played for Hamilton 3 years ago, and then played for Basha Perry the year after before taking a year off, and now back here at Hamilton, so he's jumped all around the league, taking a little time off, but nonetheless, he's been great here tonight.
Flanagan takes over, fires a shot from the point and in to the chest of Landon Scott, who in his last game against Pinnacle, he picked up the loss, allowed 5 goals, but had 54 saves to match that against the Pioneers. He was terrific in that game on the 19th, but it was a 5-4 win for Pinnacle.
2 teams that have kind of sparked a little rivalry here in AHSHA. They played in the playoffs 2 years in a row. Centennial got the better of them 2 years ago and went on to win states, and same happened last year, but this time Pinnacle won it all.
Flanagan took the shot from Smith after it went off the pad of Scott. Centennial having to touch up. Accardo will come back for Hamilton, cutting towards the middle, looking for a shot, now fires off the right pad of Scott and into the slot, turned over though by Centennial. They'll get back in enough time as it just slapped down the other ice by Minogue, and it will go far enough for icing. As about halfway through this third period, Hamilton trails by 3 goals. They have the most recent one coming off the stick of Ernsberger, a beautiful snipe on the right side. Once again, this top line of Mirage, Schaefer, and Ernsberger is going to have to continue to come up clutch for Hamilton.
And they might play 5 of these last 7.5 minutes here.
Shot wide by Mirage. A check in the corner. We haven't seen a whole lot of physicality in this contest. See if that picks up here in the final 7 minutes. Krupski in on Smith. Smith wins it back to Steele, but Mirage takes over and a turnover. Finds the stick of Mello. It's been a lot of back and forth play through the first 2.5 periods. Smith looked for Melissa, but couldn't find him entering the slot. A couple of sloppy passes, sees the puck with Miller working out of his defensive zone. Off Mark Melissa's stick. Schaefer takes over. Fends a check from Clayton. Steele working in the corner with Schaefer. Another check taken by Schaefer. Mello working it into the offensive zone. He goes past the puck, forgot a little something at the blue line. Hamilton with Marat. He gets a check from Melissa. Shot on from Hamilton goes off the blocker of Scott. Puck finds in the way of the middle of the slot, and it goes wide.
It's a whole new Hamilton team here in this second half of the game. As they have looked much different than they did early on.
A lot of pressure. Centennial had numbers. Melissa elects for the shot and into the 6-hole of Jacomer, and he covers. Just under 6 minutes remaining in this third period. And it's Centennial who's clinging to this 3-goal lead. They've definitely taken their foot off the gas quite a lot in this third period, and Hamilton has been taking over. They're seeing that clock tick quite fast in this third period.
And one more goal from Hamilton could have the Coyotes hearing footsteps, as 2-goal lead often regarded as the worst lead in hockey.
Jason Miller around the net. Has Goodman on the right side. Frost Jr. was trying to work it towards the middle, but the puck jumps over his stick. And Miller will just kill time in the corner. But it's taken over by Hamilton. Cerami loses it, and Centennial will rim it around the boards, and it goes off the netting and out of play. 5-2 lead for Centennial. Is a 3-point first period for Zachariah Ganesh, which started this hockey game off. It was a 4-goal lead after the first for Centennial. 3 power play goals in that first frame. And pretty much ever since then, it's been a Hamilton hockey game. Currently trailing by 3 goals in the third period. John Cerami on the right side. Chips the puck in deep. Payson Miller back for it. Turns off one. Chips it up the boards. Krupski recovers for Hamilton. Frost Jr. into the middle for Krupski. He couldn't hold on to it. Found Erickson on the left side, but he couldn't get the shot off. Centennial coming back the other way. A chip pass into the middle for Crawford. Finds the stick of Krupski, and he clears his defensive zone. Crawford on the left side. Drop pass for Hartman, but he skates past the puck. But a nice back check on Frost. Sees Hartman with the puck. He fires it just over the net of the Hamilton goaltender. Ganesh battling with Thorman. With a sloppy play in the defensive zone for Hamilton, but it's offsides on Centennial. So it's almost a lucky break for Hamilton, as they just need to catch their breath.
And they're going to look to get some of their top guys back out there. Mirage back on the ice as one of them, but they need to find a way to get pucks over both blue lines. They want to somehow scrap away 3 goals and maybe force a point out of this.
It's now Mirage with Kesselman and Dorman. Mirage has been on the ice for pretty much the majority of the last few minutes for Hamilton.
And you can tell he looks a little exhausted out there.
I would be too. Jan's behind the net, loses it to Brown, who rims it around the boards. A quick shot from the point goes into the glove of Jakemer. James had an opportunity to whack that puck home, but couldn't get a stick on it.
That was just a race to the loose puck there. Great job by Jakemer to find it there sitting on the doorstep, and wins the race over Jans, gets it covered up, and keeps his Huskies in this one as they still trail by 3.
Trailing by 3 with just under 4. Ganesh wins the puck back to James. A quick shot, blocked away by Jakemer. Newark chipping it out to center ice. Ethan Schill will just dump it in. For Centennial, it's got to be the mindset of anything across the red line, and it's got to go in deep. Ganesh picks up the puck in his own corner. Still with it, through the legs of Jarvis. Nice move by Ganesh. Another one from him. And Jarvis gets a stick on. A shot on from Centennial, and it's Mason Hartman who finds the back of the net. As the Coyotes, with their 6th goal of this hockey game, all but does it for Centennial.
And that was all started by Jacqueline Ganesh there in the neutral zone. Sliced through a couple defenders and led to an odd man rush, and the puck just sitting right in front there for Harmon as he slid it through the 5-hole. But now this one appears to be out of the reach for Hamilton.
Score sheet doesn't say that Ganesh is going to get assists on that goal. We'll see if that's changed post-game. As of right now, it's 6-2 for Centennial. Just over 3 minutes remaining in this hockey game, and that's a huge goal for the Coyotes. They were on the ropes for a little bit there in this third period. 1 goal from Hamilton would have done a lot for this Husky team.
And that would have been quite a few consecutively for Hamilton as well, but that one really puts a stamp on a win for the Coyotes. It's 4-goal lead with just over 2.5 remaining. It was really no chance for Hamilton to find their way back.
Miller loses the puck and then blows the tire. Martin through the slot. Tried a backhand shot. Mirage takes over. He's not giving up. He's got nobody in front of him. Another breakaway from Mirage. He goes forehand, backhand, and finds the back of the net for Hamilton. Zane Mirage with his third point of the game. 2nd goal of the hockey game. As Hamilton now trails once again by 3, but might be a little bit too little too late.
We've seen crazier comebacks here in AHSHA. We had a couple a few years ago, one this year as well, where Chaparral came back down 2 and found their way into a tie. So maybe, just maybe, Hamilton can eke out a point.
It's going to need to be this guy right here. Mirage fires a shot off Schill's leg. Centennial back the other way. Mirage out to center ice for Ernsberger. We've got O'Sullivan in front of him. He gets around him. Ernsberger on his backhand. Circles around, fires it. He scored from there earlier. Pressure in front of the net. That was Jarvis, who had a couple of hacks and was taken down in front of the net. It'll be a timeout for the Huskies as they look to try and claw their way back.
And I like that shot from Ernsberger there. Just at a point in this game where they need to get pucks on net. Anything has a chance to go in, and as long as you're getting it through that first layer, really anything can happen. And this now, a timeout, some